Hello, and welcome to Shooting the Goo, with your host, Elena Morton, with special guests, Gabby and Armand, produced by Basil Pigwit. Nice new intro, isn't it? I bought a whistle.
Hello, and welcome to Shooting the Goo, with your host, Elena Morton, and with me as always is the twin I ate in the womb. This episode is brought to you by Cabbage. Cabbage, the official soup for orphans. My two guests today are Armand Bodmer, right? Is that last name? Is that correct?
No, not in any way whatsoever. Hello, my name is Armand Bodner.
I'm Gabrielle Weber, but yeah, Gabby.
They are first years at the Kubert School and also
Stool.
the Kubert School. Kubert School, and they're
My
also...
term on the stool.
You are rocking this intro.
I'm so stuttery. So you two are in different classes than me. You guys are in 1A and 1C.
Yes.
Yes.
Great. It goes alphabetically, and there usually is 4 classes, but there weren't enough students this year to have a 1D, so it's just, as I said in the last podcast, 1A, 1B, and 1C. I'm 1B, Gabby's 1C, and Armand's 1A.
I keep getting distracted.
It is, yeah,
I
it's
know.
like out of the corner of your eye. You see, this is the point.
No, I'm facing it directly too.
It's like when you're in a restaurant and
yeah.
there's like a TV screen, and no matter like who you're with, you're always watching that TV, doing nothing else but just seeing that. I know, Gabby, you have an insane Instagram following.
It's at 13.1 as of now.
Jesus.
That might change.
Is that a lot of work to maintain?
Yeah.
No, they followed me because when I was younger, I hoarded myself out with fan art, and then
Oh.
slowly I started making my own
Yep.
stuff. Then I had a following for that.
That's the secret. Do you guys remember Ryan? He was here briefly.
I never met him, but I heard his name.
Really great
muscular
dude.
guy?
Yeah. Ryan Bruner. Yeah, really great dude. He built a very substantial Instagram following, I believe, and he was one day elaborating how you do it. And the key is basically just follow the trends. Yeah, you have no creativity. You follow the trends. If something drops and it's like big, like if the new Avengers movie drops, you draw the Avengers for a couple weeks and just suck all of that fandom to you as much as you can. You don't have free time. You don't have personal choice. You just go with what sells, which is a totally that's a legitimate way of doing things.
That is.
Yeah.
But I personally don't do that. What I've done, because I've been off for so long, I started, I pulled them in with the fan art, and then I started doing my own stuff. I started making my own thing. And I have a following for that, actually. So I made a symbol for my one character. The thing's going to be called the Alters Reality. Keep an eye out, maybe, in the distant future. They have a tattoo of something I made.
Really? Like a stranger has a tattoo?
Yeah, of a symbol I made.
What?
That's really cool.
That's amazing.
For my one character, Dobium.
Wow.
But, I have a good following for that as well, but what you also do, it doesn't always have to be the big thing. Sometimes you gotta find this fandom for stuff that's really old, and they're so desperate for content. I started doing South Park stuff. Everyone ate that shit up.
Oh, yeah.
For Instagram, it also matters when you post, at what time of the day.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There's usually a very high activity period at certain times.
Yeah.
But I usually just post around 3 or 4. I haven't been on my Instagram in a long time.
Oh.
I haven't, because I've been here.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff I'm this is not post worthy.
Same.
I don't want to show it to the world. And I routinely go back and purge old stuff, even from last year, because oh god, does it hurt my soul?
Oh, that was
to look at that stuff.
When I was a kid,
man.
I used to draw Five Nights at Freddy's and creepypasta.
What?
So I'm
no.
A while ago, I went back. I'm delete.
I was home over the weekend and I was looking through all my old sketchbooks, and wow, I thought I was the shit. I might have been, but there was not as good as I would have liked to believe I was. It was such a nightmare. But I grew up in a super small town, and I my thing was drawing. I started drawing pretty early. So even if I wasn't amazing, that was kind of the label that got attached to it. Yeah.
You have all these people who don't know what
exactly.
good, and they hype you up this is great.
Yes.
And nowadays, if you at that time, if you brought it to someone, they'd be okay, this is shit.
Yeah.
And here's why.
Yeah. I knew seeing art and stuff, I knew I wasn't, amazing, but it was one of those things that when that's the label that gets attached to you and you start to kind of believe almost your own hype, And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I can do some of this stuff. Why doesn't this picture look like the picture I'm trying to replicate?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what anatomy is, and I don't know how to do underdrawings yet because I'm,
What's an underdrawing? I draw
Ex-
right
Totally.
on.
Exactly.
Just
Oh, yeah.
one straight line, just going
yeah.
for it.
Yeah, Joel would despise young Armand because
Oh.
young Armand was nothing but just outside holding lines. No second draft of anything.
I know. I got in trouble for doing outside holding lines. I went to Waldorf School, which is very alternative, kind of hippie. It's pretty fun. I like Waldorf School. Very high art thing, but we weren't allowed to use a black crayon or do outside holding lines. And I was like a third grader. And I was like, I'm not going to fall into your system. And then I used a black crayon and I got in trouble.
Wow.
That's wild.
I know.
My school was really sports oriented, but we had a huge school because they're all from this one city in Allentown in PA, Pennsylvania.
For those readers who don't know a map, those readers, this is all going to be just texted out. I'm not actually recording anything.
You have someone in the corner like typing like in a courtroom.
Yeah.
She's underpaying some poor young guy to just type out a transcript of all these things.
Did you get that, Charles?
God, he looks like he hasn't seen the sun in weeks.
I haven't.
I mean,
fed
all
him.
of us look like that.
That's true. I have gotten so pale and lost so much weight since coming here because I just don't eat and don't go
Same.
outside.
Yeah,
I forgot to eat lunch today.
Me too. No, like I usually don't eat lunch. Just it's weird at this school. It's the opposite of the freshman 15, which is when you go to college, you are predicted to gain 15 pounds from a mix of stress, overeating because the cafeteria, and just being a fat kid.
But we don't have a cafeteria.
Yeah, we
We
don't
don't have a meal plan.
We eat rice and frozen broccoli, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, when I get home today, I'm gonna meal prep like a bunch of bow tie noodles. Eat that
Yes.
shit.
Oh my gosh.
One of the things that they kind of tell new incoming students when you come here is they're very keen on saying, stay active because this is a very sedentary job.
Yes.
And you will be a slave to the chair. The caveat they should put in there is once you leave here and you do art, stay active because they don't tell you that they are going to work you so hard, your free time just disappears.
Yeah.
Like it's gone. I have I don't do anything. I haven't seen a movie or a show in its entirety since I came here.
That's so true.
See, it's different for me. I leave every weekend. I don't take
How
any
do you
work
do
with me.
that? And you're on the dean's list, girl.
I work really fast.
I'm getting
and
farther
I-
away from the mic so you can't hear my screaming as much.
Ah,
Ah.
Yeah, you're really blowing out.
Yeah, the thing on it.
That's a very impressive sound spike.
Yeah.
Like for the art.
Oh, at the window is some gremlins.
Ugh.
Get out of here, you gremlins. EJ from the last podcast. What are you doing with your nose?
He's so ugly.
Just ignore them and they'll go away.
Yeah. Oh my god, he licked the window.
Don't acknowledge.
Yeah, it's a very different dynamic than some other schools.
Yeah.
Here, it's not encouraged to be, but to be lonely. I guess that's a really sad way to put it.
It's an artist's life to lonely and like grindstone and get it done.
Yeah, and like we're getting all the happiness we need out of our work.
The satisfaction of getting the job done.
Yeah,
This is cripplingly depressing.
I know.
Well,
it's sad. It's
Here's a
sad
reality
thing.
check. Drop. Art's hard and it takes a lot of your time.
Yeah,
But if you get stuff done, you can. After I saw this one artist, I don't know what they go by now. I forget their actual
let's say
name.
Gerald.
Rebornica.
Rebornica? That's a cool name.
They've changed now. It's like Deoxy.
Oh,
But
Like that artist, was that the
that was definitely
that kind of the turning point?
Absolutely.
Did you have a moment like that where you saw an artist and you're like, I need to start stealing this stuff? Like, did you?
well,
Do you have someone?
Yeah.
it's
specific
kind
like
of a
that?
difficult thing because it wasn't internet based. I know that because my dad does comics and he has this big library, and so I'd always be in there and I always kind of looked at stuff. I gotta say the artist that really made me like I wanted to do their stuff was Jack Davis. He does some mad stuff back in the day. He's dead now. Like most of my favorite artists,
Me.
they're all dead. No. Okay, wait. Who's that for you? Because you have an Instagram.
I can very definitively point out the exact moment that I had like my big epiphany, and I read Batman Hush by Jim Lee, and that was
You're a Jim
that
Lee.
was well, it's Less now.
That's the end of the podcast.
Yeah. Well, what happened is I was never really into comics as a kid.
Really?
And yeah, I'm like a huge nerd, but never really got into comics. Partially growing up in like super small rural New York, not a whole lot of places around me that I knew of to get comic books. But I was on a road trip with my family one summer, and I downloaded the Comixology app, and there were two comics that I can point to very definitively as sparking both my love of comics and my resurgent love of art, and it's Jim Lee's Hush. They had that for free, like the first issue to rope people in.
Yeah.
And a comic book called Atomic Robo, which is my hands down favorite comic ever written. Yeah. Like shout out to the I think it's Scott Wegner and Brian Clevenger or vice versa, but they make an amazing comic.
So we're gonna close up soon because it's getting to the end, and once again this podcast is way longer than I intended it to be.
Well, we have lots to say.
Just keep it full form.
I haven't interacted with people in a couple days.
This is beneficial for our mental health.
Totally. This is actually a therapy session.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not crazy.
We need to steal Adam's dogs.
Yeah, Paco.
Starring Paco and Bella.
We're actually Adam's dogs talking.
Where everyone's in some light.
I love that like 50% of this podcast is inside references to the school.
There's an open house.
I believe it's April 13th.
Yeah.
We'll be doing sketch cards.
Yeah, you will see us there doing sketch cards. I had a lot of fun last time. That was really cool.
That was super dope. Dude, I'm going to eat so many of those cream puffs again.
Oh my God, those were so good.
Oh,
I'm so hungry. Don't even Josh
I know.
Right now.
I need to go home.
That, everyone out there finds this conversation really, really riveting.
Is this ASMR?
Pull out your sultry voice.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the sexiest art podcast you will ever hear.
We're going to shave some soap.
I apologize to the listening audience. That probably blew out your
looking a little long. I better
shoot directly into the microphone. Did we do a wrap up?
Wrap up.
I thought you were going to say let's do a rap.
Yeah.
All right.
My name is Elena, and I'm here to say.
And now it's time for us to go away.
Oh. Boom. Okay.
Ow.
Wait, do you guys want to plug yourselves one last time?
If you have any interest in anything that I'm doing, which is mostly, drawing pictures and nothing else.
Being a dweeb.
Being a dweeb. You can find me at Armand Bodner at Instagram, ARMANDBODNAR. Like super, it's super uncreative, but that's the me.
My plugin.
Yeah.
Plug yourself, girl, like a light bulb.
My Instagram is _haunted_artist. That's where I've posted a lot of stuff over the time. Some more recent stuff that I did is my Tumblr, which is just the haunted artist, nothing in between. That's where I have a lot more doodles there. There's a lot of stuff I had posted there recently that I don't do on my Instagram because I just took requests because I wanted to get some inspiration and doodle some stuff.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of stuff from that. That's about it. I have a Twitter, but I don't use it, so I'm not even going to plug it.
Yeah.
My Twitter is just a bunch of prostitutes following me and me putting Star Trek things because they think I'm a prostitute because there's a prostitute with the name Elena Morton.
Oh, no.
It's so awkward. So awkward.
What an interesting life you lead.
I lead a good life.
All right.
Well,
and
thank
do you want to tell the people your plug? I mean,
my plug.
yeah.
I think it's literally on the screen.
Yeah.
During the podcast.
Yeah, follow Elena if you want to see pictures of Ferengi.
Oh my God.
At all hours
That's
of the night.
That's what his name is?
Well,
it's a species.
Quark
God,
is the name of the Ferengi.
So nerdy. Okay. we need to get out of here.
Yeah. Okay.
This is going to hell.
Thank you so much for coming, guys.
Thank
Thanks for being on
us.
Shooting the Goo.
Thank you for
This
having us.
isn't the last you've seen of me.
Yeah, you guys are definitely
I vow
gonna be
to
on it.
return. Do we have some cool sign off that we do? Like,
Do.
hey.